he working?
Woo! Fired up. Get fired up. Say it one more time. Get fired up.
Fired up.
Fired up.
Fired up.
All right. We got the fire started in here. Throwing some heat. Woo. There we go. Got the sound bites. We're trying to get hyped up here. We've just been all kind of doing our own different things recently, but keeping busy. Days are flying by. Crashing into a new year in the middle of the week.
First podcast of the year.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I wasn't really thinking of it like that. I was thinking of it as episode 25, which means we're a quarter of the way there. So
a quarter of the way.
A quarter of the way. Well, to 100 episodes. You know, and folks, you can always remember this real simple trick. So it takes 4 quarters to make $1. So you can always remember this. And so 25, we are
one quarter.
1 quarter of the way there. Very easy, very simple. A lot of people don't know there's a lot of these simple math tricks like that, putting things into monetary terms. Well, I mean, not everyone knows. Do you guys remember some of the math tricks we learned? We all had the same math tutor growing up, and do you guys remember? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
No, I don't think he taught us those tricks.
Yo, fuck you then. Okay, Jesus. All right.
What was it for?
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Oh, actually, I do remember that one. That's
parentheses.
Order operations.
Yeah, it's the order of operations.
Yeah,
parentheses, decimals.
I don't know if he ever went that far. He may have said it one time, but I think we just knew.
Yeah, I think he repeated it a lot. I can't remember even. I'm trying to remember. You know, it's an acronym, right? P stood for something. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I can't even tell you. I know the P is parentheses. Parentheses, exponents. Okay, it's coming back to me. It's parentheses, exponents, decimals.
You missed M. Multiply, divide.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we got most of it there. I'm not gonna outwork myself trying to remember it. But the thing I do remember is order of operations is very important in anything you do. That applies to more than just math. So all the time I'll say to myself, okay, hang on. What are my order of operations here? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And then I can get to work. Just, a lot of little tricks like that. People, not everybody knows them, but apparently, they tried teaching me every trick in the book, but apparently you guys didn't need that. But we are fired up. Thanks for joining the chat, Mary. First one on the pod this episode. We're just trying to get hyped up. I was riding around all day. Not even all day. I was riding around this afternoon. Me and Dad went to pick up a firewood processor.
Where was it?
It was kind of it was in Maine. I don't remember the name of the town in Maine, but it was just a little bit past King Pine. It was, okay. Yeah. It wasn't too far.
Drove past King Pine to get there.
Yeah, we did. We go past King Pine, and it wasn't much further than that. But it was nice going to pick it up. Kind of cool to go see the rental operation over there. They had some other equipment we looked at, a wood chipper, and anyway, so going to be excited to use that coming up in the next 2 days here, processing some firewood.
How long did you rent it for? Just 2 days?
Just 2 days.
Oh.
So we get 16 hours we can put on it.
Oh, is that what they rent it by the hour?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it just makes, like, why not, right?
Sense,
yeah. The thing registers how many hours, so it'd be foolish, right, if you just said, oh yeah, you get to have it and you can operate it for as much time as you want within 24 hours, right? Because then people would be out, like, what's the word, like subletting it to their friends in those 24 hours, and you'd get it back and it would have 24 new hours put on it, and essentially you only paid for 8. or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you- I know what you're
you pay
saying.
by the hour. Makes good sense. But anyway, that's what I was up to this afternoon, and then I crammed some food down my throat and came over here for the pod. Curtis, I know he's been busting hump on his new house, taking it from haunted to home.
I still feel like it's a little haunted. I was over there by myself, and mostly it's probably because there's nothing in it. It's quiet,
And it's just a really
echoey.
old house. It has that vibe because it's old, right? Every haunted house is always an old house.
Yeah,
But to me, it doesn't feel haunted.
it doesn't feel haunted when there's more than just me there.
And when you get the fire roasting, it feels good in there.
Yeah,
But yeah, so Curtis has been working like a dog over at his house. Carter probably had the busiest day. I think he watched Squid Game on Netflix today.
I watched the first episode, but I was watching it in the living room with Allie, and she said it wasn't her thing. She wasn't into it.
Not into it. I didn't even give it a shot, to be honest. But
I've watched it. I finished it the other day.
You watched season 2?
Oh, I haven't watched season 2 no, but
Season 2 just came out. So.
yeah, I had to get caught up. So.
Jack and Ben were telling me that Ben already watched season 2. He watched it over the Christmas break, and Jack was watching it too, and they said it was really good. The first episode was pretty tough, I would say, for the first 45 minutes, and then
Of season 2 or
of season 1, I thought,
Oh.
until he got into the game and they started killing people, and then it became interesting.
you know what I did enjoy was the Mr. Beast Squid Game challenge video. It's like a 1-hour challenge video, all Squid Game related, but Mr. Beasted it. So I was
yeah,
pretty
so no
into
one
that.
died.
Yeah, which was cool. And speaking of Mr. Beast, I don't know, you guys probably don't care, but he just got engaged over Christmas.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, he proposed to his girlfriend. Big things for Jimmy Donaldson. If you didn't know, that's Mr. Beast's real name. What a terrible name, Jimmy Donaldson. Not terrible name, but just like, no wonder he had to change it to Mr. Beast, right? There's no way he makes it to where he is today if his channel name was Jimmy Donaldson.
Well, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe the name doesn't matter. I've been debating about changing the air quote awesome name for brandability purposes. You know what I mean? Like, people don't. What is air quote awesome? Like, people have said that to me. What is an air quote awesome?
What is it?
What is an air quote awesome?
I don't know. I just mashed some words together.
Well, that's not even what it is. It does, again, it was something I came up with when I was 13, maybe even younger. Like, it's something me and Calvin, it was like an inside joke me and Calvin had, that there was this Lego character. We go back and forth on how it was created, and I can't really remember exactly. If Calvin was here, he might have a different turn of events to share on where the name came from. But in my memory, I think Calvin had a Lego character, and his name was Mr. Awesome, right? Was this Lego character. And we would play, like, a lot of kids just build Legos. Me and Calvin played Legos, okay? So there'd be storylines. There was shopkeepers. You had to pay the shopkeepers. Like, we went hard. We played Lego, okay? We didn't just build. But Calvin had this character called Mr. Awesome. And I think every time he brought him out, he'd be like, "This is awesome," or "This is Mr. Awesome," and I would hold my hands up, and I go, "Oh, awesome, awesome," you put the air quotes around it. I know you don't have to crunch them when you do the air quotes. People have gotten on me like that before. They're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your hands there?" I don't know. I thought this is how you did air quotes. You kind of put your hands up and go like this. So Calvin had this character called Mr. Awesome, and he'd be like, "This is Mr. Awesome." And to annoy Calvin, I'd be like, "Oh, he's awesome. Oh, he's awesome." Right? Putting the air quotes around awesome. Therefore, taking the power of the word away. That's how they work, if you didn't know. So now all of a sudden, you thought it was cool, and now it's not. I just took all the power away with my air quotes, okay? And that, I think, is how it started. And then eventually we started calling him air quote awesome, right? Rather than doing the air quotes with your fingers, you just start calling him air quote awesome. And so there's like a hint of irony in the name for the channel's sake, because everything on the channel is awesome. Does that make sense? We all make it through that ride together.
Yeah.
We didn't lose anyone on the way.
I gather that.
It's dumb, but that's something you think is intelligent when you are 13. Almost 12 years later, now it seems kind of dumb, but 12 years ago it seemed kind of witty.
It seems witty.
Anyway,
I probably wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't have a real strong opinion. I kind of am like at the point with YouTube where, like, I don't even want people to watch. Like, I'm so fed up with the system and the algorithm and trying to get views.
Don't watch us.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Don't
look
watch
at
our videos.
Look at every podcast we posted. Like, the thumbnail Carter made was fine for one podcast, right?
Yeah.
But we've used it for every podcast, and we just title it Kinville Show and then a number. We're not playing the YouTube game right now. YouTube game would be clickbait title, clickbait thumbnail. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more we could be doing to really try and get these views. But to a certain extent, I'm just kind of fed up with it. And I do know, like, the Joe Rogan method does exist. He built fame outside of YouTube. But because he had fame outside of YouTube, he could just shitpost on YouTube, and people are going to go click on it and watch it, right? Because he was already famous. So.
Well, I kind of feel like I've just been taking the Joe Rogan method with it. That's why I don't change the picture. I just wanted something easy. That's been my whole thing with this podcast. Is everybody's talking about how professional.
We just want to shit them out as fast as we can.
Yeah,
well,
basically.
I want it to be good looking, but I don't want it to be difficult to do. Everything that I've done to make it easy.
The problem is it has to be entertaining to listen to in order for people to click and listen to it and not click off.
Well, I think it does have to be entertaining to listen to, but you're fighting both battles, even if you're entertaining.
Do you guys pay attention to any of the, like, niche characters on Barstool Sports? Like, there's a million,
like Frank the Tank.
Yes, like Frank the Tank. There are so many offshoot characters that are under the Barstool Sports umbrella.
Yeah.
I don't know who would have cared about them prior to Barstool Sports. Many of the people are people similar to us that produce content for years in obscurity and nobody watched it. You know, they never 100,000 views. Right? For years, they posted in obscurity, and then somehow they got on Dave's radar. Dave falls in love with them. He's like, well, this is a no-brainer for me because the content's already there, right? So he throws him a bone, and now his viewership is he just takes the, people call it like a spotlight, right? So now he's going to take the Barstool spotlight and just shine it on your years of content over here, and he's going to rake in the money through the contract these people sign with Barstool, Yeah,
I suppose. I think I was just thinking about it, and I would liken what we're doing here to a time capsule in a way. When somebody clicks on these videos and see what the layman was thinking about.
This is like a modern day journal.
That's what I was going to say.
The paper and pen is long forgotten.
It's something that's going to be in the future, and like instead of finding an old journal in somebody's attic.
Someday when we've been uploaded to the internet, somebody will find these old files and, wow, can you believe what these real people were doing?
They were real people.
Believe it or not, kids, these guys didn't only exist on the TV. When the TV went blank, they were real folks. They went out into the real world. Stuff we can only dream about. But
yeah, pretty soon AI is going to be taking our job. AI is going to be doing this.
I hate watching the AI stuff on TikTok. Like, I don't know if you guys ever get these AI like sea monsters. Like, you ever get these?
I don't get like sea monsters.
At first, it looks so good, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit! Like, what is this?
What'd they find?
What they find? What is it?
Yeah.
And then you watch it for a little while longer, and it's never quite right. Like, it doesn't know where the fish ends and the boat starts, and they're kind of bleeding together. Or, like, all of a sudden it decided that this fish, for some reason, is wearing Timberlands. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's odd things it doesn't really know yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen the fish one, or I haven't seen, like, sea monsters, but, like, people on a dock somewhere holding up a big fish or something like that, like AI photos, not...
Yeah.
I get a lot of snake ones, like a lot of
giant snake.
giant snakes.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, look how big this snake is. And then I, took a deeper look, and it was just an AI deep fake video, whatever you want to call it. But I'd imagine if you had, if you had less than great eyesight, you'd probably get duped by these videos all the time, because they, even with my immaculate perception, I can get duped from time to time. It would not be hard for me to imagine a world where you just get fooled by AI. But
Happy New Year, Amy.
Happy New Year, Amy.
Happy New Year!
And thanks for the Christmas presents, the coffee and the coffee, the cup of soup, all the snacks.
The snacks, which I took all the Oreo cookies.
You ate all the Oreos?
They're gone.
Our Oreos?
I didn't. I just thought they were. I thought they were for the studio. I thought that was like the craft service table.
I've been eating those at work.
I was gonna ask you, Curtis, because you mentioned it before the show, but just to oppose our side of technology and AI, because AI is taken over. You've been making efforts to combat that by reading a book.
Yeah, I actually...
The old ways of man, before podcasts.
Yeah. I actually don't really have a lot of interest in reading still, other than it was just a story. I don't remember what podcast I was listening to, but this guy was talking about this specific book, and I was telling Cassidy about the story of what happened in it, and she went and found the book and got it for me for Christmas. So
now you're reading a book.
So now I'm reading a book, and it's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought.
What's the name of the book?
Heart of the Sea, I think, is the name of the book.
Is it fiction or
no? It's a true story of this whaling boat that out in Nantucket that sunk.
Back when men were men.
Yeah, that it sunk, and I think there was like a crew of, I think it was 18 people, and only 2 survived, and the 2 survived by I think the boat sunk, and out of the 18, 10 made it onto this life raft thing that they constructed, and then only 2 survived, and the 2 survived by eating the rest of them.
Wow.
And it was like there's a sailor code about how to eat people and who to eat first, and so you knew you were dying, and sometimes they would chop. I haven't got that far yet into the book, but I guess they would chop off a limb, and they would share a limb amongst each other before you died, and shit like that to try to preserve you as people as long as they could until.
Well, also preserve the meat, right? You got no means of keeping things from spoiling, so
Yeah.
So if your heart's still beating, it's gonna keep your meat fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh for the harvest. Yeah, that's really dark and sick. But the fact of the matter is, this was a real life scenario these men found themselves in. And unfortunately, only 2 survived. But at the same time, miraculously, 2 of them survived because of these, extremely dark survival methods. But they,
yeah. Anyway, it's a story of one of the guys. It's a story. One of the guys who survived told us. It's like in the beginning of the book, it gave this real long roundabout way of how this story came to be. But basically, somebody found this guy's journal 100 years later after he was dead, and they took the journal and turned it into a story. The other guy had wrote books, but they weren't anywhere near as detailed as this
as the
story.
actual journal. What year was it? Do you know?
I don't know the name of I think it was like 1819 or something like that.
Makes sense.
I think that's what it said. I haven't got that far into it. I'm only 15 pages in. So
yeah, reading is it's one of those things I wish I was into.
I just spewed off all that information like I knew all about it, but I'm only 15 pages into the book.
Well, but you heard a podcast about it. That's where you got.
Yeah.
That's where you got the trailer for the book.
Yeah, basically. So I don't know.
You got
exactly
the Spark Notes. So
pretty much. One thing that
It's It's actually a movie.
Yeah, it did. It is a movie too. So
I thought this plot had some. Your laundry's going off if you want to switch it.
Well, okay.
Real life house.
We'll take a quick intermission from the Heart of the Sea.
Well, I was just gonna say the
Where Curtis is switching his laundry.
It's about a sinking
Sinking.
about the sinking of an American whale ship Essex in 1820.
1820.
It's an event that inspired Herman Melville's 1851 novel Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, this book's the inspiration for Moby Dick. I was only half listening to what you were reading.
The book is not inspiration from Moby Dick. The story is the inspiration from Moby Dick.
Okay, gotcha.
But the movie came out in 2015, so it's a newer movie. It's got Chris Hemsworth, Tom Holland.
No way.
Yeah,
This was what year?
2015.
That's crazy. I feel like I would have remembered that.
I'll put the Wikipedia.
Chris
article.
Hemsworth and Tom Holland in 2015 doing the movie adaptation. But Heart of the Sea, guys. It's I don't know if I'll be reading Curtis's copy of the book, but I will for sure probably watch the movie maybe at some point.
What? Oh, so what did I miss?
Well, just that they did a movie adaptation in 2015 starring Chris Hemsworth and Tom Holland.
Oh really? I didn't know they were in the movie. I did know they made a movie, and I think I was talking about watching the movie.
After you read the book.
Well, now after I read the book, probably, but
You should try and grind out the book.
It's on Netflix.
You know, I mean, I think it's really hard to like force yourself to be like, this is what I'm gonna do, is sit and read a book. But when I had been forced to read books, I generally at some point did get into them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Well, I am interested in hearing the story, so I do want to read.
yeah,
the book,
I think to a certain degree you must have to like press on. You know what I mean? Like without any book, there's you know a couple of chapters you got to press on, and then eventually you're hooked.
right now it's just world building, so there hasn't been any story of. I think
And that's
like
that's all the slow stuff.
Thomas Nickerson, I think, was the kid's name. Yeah, so I guess it's slow stuff, but it's actually interesting to me because, well, it starts off by talking about.
That's who Tom Holland plays, by the way.
It starts off by talking about the whaling industry, and starts off talking about the island in Nantucket, and basically it started off as a few people went there, and the Wampanoag tribe lived there, and these people would employ the Wampanoags to go kill right whales because the island was surrounded by whales.
Yeah.
And they call them right whales because it was the right whale to kill. And so they'd kill these whales and sell the
fat.
Well, they would make the
Oil.
Yeah, oil from the whale. They would boil the blubber and make the whale oil for lanterns and all kinds of stuff.
Did it say where that practice came from? Like, who figured out how to harvest whales? Is that like just from Eskimos, or like did it mention that at all?
I don't think it. If it did, I didn't retain that.
Yeah.
I don't think it really.
But
did
this
talk
is
about.
something the natives knew how to do.
The natives knew how to do it. Yeah, or the natives were just being employed.
Okay.
I think they were just
looking for work.
I think the natives knew how to sail because they were on the island, and I think that was it. I think they knew how to sail.
Gotcha. Whales could be a kind of a threat back then. You know, they could really fuck up a boat.
Well, that's ultimately why the boat sank, was because they killed a whale, and then another whale got pissed and intentionally sunk the boat.
You know, I watched a video, or I watched Blackfish. Who hasn't seen Blackfish? You know, you talk about whales. That's the SeaWorld hit piece, Blackfish. But it goes over how intelligent whales really are. Like in terms of if you're messing with them, if you kill one of their friends, if you're after their babies, like they are vengeful they're much like us,
Yeah.
right? And
So-
they've got a very particular set of skills.
Yeah.
So
Well, anyway, so the island became it just kept growing and growing and growing. And the island became the whaling capital of the world, and it was like business was booming, and that's why it's such a ritzy place now, because it was
They
people
came
were
from
so
Big
rich.
Whale.
Yeah, it came from Big Whale, and people were so rich, and I think it was just generational.
It wasn't Big Oil, it was Big Whale.
Generational wealth.
That kind of makes sense why it's got kind of like this spooky, like, kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean? Like this, like, spooky nautical horror kind of vibe going on.
And anyway, I thought it was one of the things that drew me, and what that was interesting too was it started off, they decimated all the whales. They killed all the whales. That's why those whales are more rare. They used to be, I guess you used to be able to see whales all the time if you went out in the ocean.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The more boats we've had out there, and the more obviously there was a time where they were hunted heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the whale they would start off and they would go for a month or 2 months, and they would go out and kill whales, and they would cut the whales up in the ocean and throw all the blubber on the boat and boil it down and make the oil on the boat. And then they would after they got done producing and they didn't have any more storage, they would come back and unload. But it turned into multi-year expeditions on the ocean in these wooden boats, killing whales.
And that,
right?
that
I mean, I
wasn't
assume
what
they were wooden boats.
Yeah.
In the 1800s,
They had to have been. I'm sure they were just wooden ships.
Sailboats or whatever they had, but
Yeah. I can't imagine anything else. But when they set out, did they know they were going to be gone for years, or it was kind of
I think they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah. God, I mean, that's just a crazy, crazy way to live.
Yeah. Imagine that going out on a boat.
You know, the thing that bums me out is, like, now we just have too much knowledge and information. The world isn't like this mysterious, dangerous place anymore. Like, we've got a pretty good handle on things, and, you know, it's just like, I wish I could have lived back then, because I'm sure I would have loved to kill a whale. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't know, like, today I know way too much. I don't want whales. I don't even think we should really have boats in the ocean. You know what I mean? We got planes in the sky. Let's get the boats out of the ocean. Let's leave it for the fish.
Think of the technology too. I mean, you just go out there with a gun or something and just start blasting the water. You'd be shooting whales. I don't know how they were killing whales.
They would
back then.
What they would do is they had the big boat. They would unload little boats. They would harpoon a whale, go for a ride. The whale would yank them until it got tired, and then they would get up next to the whale and stab it to death with shit.
I mean, imagine that.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you didn't
like clubbing a porcupine with a 2x4.
But if you so you live in this world, right, where these whales are these massive, powerful things that you're lucky that they don't all just decide to swamp your ship every time you go out there. You know what I mean? So what a thrill this is. There he is. I see him. Get the harpoon. You load up the friggin' harpoon. You finally sink one. And now, like, this is a time where you're relying on the frickin' wind to move your vessel. Now, all of a sudden, you have a whale just skiing you around the ocean. Like, this is kind of sick, okay? And like you said, when he finally gets tuckered out, then you had to start harvesting him.
And they're so giant, too, that...
Yeah, like, this was quite the fantastic trade. Like, I'm not saying it was right. It's obviously wrong, but these are savage creatures. You know what I mean? The further back in time you go, the more savage we were, just based on the amount of access to information. You know, for all these people thought that they might as well kill the whales because they were just going to float off the edge of the earth at some point anyway. Oh, yeah. You know, so there's less remorse.
The size difference of a person compared to the whale.
It's just insane.
Yeah, so I guess you know why the sperm whale is called the sperm whale?
Why?
Because in their head they have this big cavity full of stuff that looks of the sort, and it's the best burning oil or something. It was like a hot commodity of lighting stuff up. That kind of oil was good to burn or something like that.
That's crazy.
And that's why they called it that.
You know, so whales are mammals. You think we got any oil in us?
If you're fat enough.
Yeah.
There's not like oil flowing through a whale.
It's just fat comes from your fat.
They would
boil
just
down
burn
the fat.
Yeah, they would burn the fat and or whatever it was, melt the fat down and make the oil out of it. So yeah, I think there's some people that are fat enough to make oil out of.
Maybe you know, maybe we're
humans.
on to something.
What?
I said sperm humans.
Instead of the whale.
Well, I guess it was like a spot in the skull, and you'd ladle it out.
Oh
Like,
my god!
It was
what
actually
the fuck?
that's what they said in the book. You ladle it out of
That's
the
crazy.
skull cavity.
That's kind of yucky. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of yuck. But I mean, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. I definitely I'll be interested to hear about the rest of the book. But if you ever make it through
What did they use
I might put the
whale
movie
oil
on.
for?
Everything. Lanterns.
It was mostly lanterns. I think that was what it was.
Whatever they needed oil for at the time, it was coming from whales.
It was lubricant, lanterns.
Because we weren't quite into the industrial times yet, right? Things were still.
I don't think we were
kinda,
drilling for oil or anything.
Yeah, things were still pretty primitive.
Making gas. I mean, maybe they were at the time. I don't know.
I don't really know either. History's unless you're sitting down with a book and you can look at the dates. It's hard to. In my head, if you say 1800s, I'm picturing zero electricity. I'm sure there was electricity somewhere. I don't know.
Well, you got to think about, like, I'm thinking about when the ship sunk. It was only a couple of years before my house was built or around when my house was built, right? So there was nothing other than you had nothing but the fireplace on the inside of your house. Maybe some couple lanterns. You had a horse and buggy. But it wasn't much long after that.
You would have had a lot of candles.
Yeah, it wasn't much long after that, probably, that...
Times changed. Things got electrified.
It says a main use of whale oil was used for illumination and machine lubrication.
Yeah, so obviously they didn't.
Cheaper alternatives to whale oil existed, but were inferior in performance and cleanliness of burn.
Interesting.
Damn, I wish I had a whale oil lamp.
I don't know. I don't want a whale oil lamp. I don't want to be dependent on whale oil. But
Times were better.
Yeah, if I lived in a time when nobody knew any better, yeah, sure. I think it's cool. I say go for it.
Yeah, I gotta get through the book.
The other thing I was gonna point us to something Carter brought up before we started recording. We were talking about Legos just because we've been going crazy building a lot of Legos that we all got for Christmas. But one little insider piece of information not a lot of people know. You can kind of judge a Lego set's value based on its piece count, right? Or at least this has been something in the Lego community for a long time where, for about the last 10 years, let's say, this is about how long I've been paying attention, right? So let's just say the last 10 years, it's been about 10 cents per brick.
It's definitely gone up.
And I'm sure it's gone up, but just for instance, we're just going to say it's 10 cents a brick. That's what it was for a long time, and that's how hardcore Lego collectors like ourselves would judge the value of a set. Like sometimes buying a Star Wars set is more expensive than buying Lego City because it says Star Wars on it, right? So you have to really make that judgment because the price per piece is not 10 cents a brick. It's going to be higher than that. Is it really worth it to you, right? Because you're getting less parts for more money.
Yeah.
Something you have to make a consideration when you're picking out what Lego set to buy. Again, this is if you're a complete weirdo like us, if you're an extreme hardcore Lego collector, then you're going to analyze how many pieces per dollar are in the set, and that's going to help you decide what you're ordering from the catalog. But Carter brought up, if you want to bring it up, what you're saying when you're building Lego.
Well, I I don't know if it's something that has always been there and I just never noticed it, but I feel like as I'm building the set, I'm using more pieces than necessary. Like, I feel specifically it happened so many times when I was building the set where I'd have my piece and it's that ship, it's in the lower, I can't point it or put a mouse to
Yeah,
it.
it's
Ship.
sitting over here next to me. Well, it's actually it's pretty well in the front of the shot here. The TIE fighter.
Yep.
Interceptor.
Yeah.
TIE Interceptor.
So
Collector's edition.
As I was building like the wings, obviously they're a long span. And as I'm building it, rather than just they make long pieces. Like, for instance, it happened several times where there was a 6 long by 1 stud flat piece, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very common tile. Well, rather than using 1 6 long by 1 flat stud piece, I'd use
a 1x2 and a 1x4.
I'd use 2 3s, 2 3x1s.
Yeah.
And it just happened over and over and over again while I was building the set. I can see when they do it, like, usually I pay attention for details like that where sometimes just the lines in the brick will add detail to the set, and they'll do that
That's
on
when you
purpose.
appreciate the little bricks.
But this one here is obviously for nothing, and also there are times where it weakens the structure. If you had a full 1x6, it would be much stronger than not.
Now that you're saying this, I did notice this a lot. I didn't actually question it, but I did think it was odd a couple of times. It was just having me put in 1x1s, just like you're saying, next to each other, where it could be a 1x2, right?
Yeah.
But it's 2 1x1s, and I'm thinking, well, it is making me use 2 different colors here, so at the end of it, maybe it's going to be facing out, little design element, little flavor in the wall. No.
Cover right over.
You cover right over it. You don't see it. So
it's just adding pieces for absolutely no reason.
You're absolutely right. It's bolstering the piece count. I would also say building my Millennium Falcon, I ended up with a handful, like a legitimate handful, some of them legitimate bricks, not just little tiny pieces that I don't even know where they go. It has nothing to do with the look or the integrity of the Falcon. It has to do with those doors, how they open on it. It had me securing them together in like 100 different ways. Like, once it was together, it was together. Like, I was putting it on the thing. I probably skipped like 5 or 6 steps, but you didn't need those. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I know it's a fine line between, because obviously that's a 2,000 piece set. Lego could make 3 pieces and you put it together in 3 pieces and that's it. But I feel like the Lego has their certain amount of pieces.
It's annoying.
Don't make the specialty pieces. Just build with what they already have created. And
they have a system, right? So there's a
system.
There's a 1x2 opening. It should have a 1x2 brick, right? Not 2 1x1s. It should have a 1x2. That is the system. So it is a little bit odd.
Big Lego.
Yeah, big Lego conspiracy. Me and Calvin talked about the quality of bricks going down.
I noticed that too.
Yeah,
certain colors you can feel it in the brick.
It doesn't seem like sure they've changed throughout the years, but recently it just seemed really noticeable.
I really want to. I've thought about it a million times, but I might order one of those Amazon sets. Have you seen those Amazon sets?
Yeah. Like the pick a brick.
Not
thing?
pick a brick. It's an Amazon. It's Amazon.
Oh, just a bootleg.
Bootleg Lego set, and they look like Legos. Some of them even print their own name on the stud.
Yeah.
But it's a bootleg Lego set, and you get I don't know. It's like instead of 10 cents a piece, it might be like 3 cents a piece. And specifically Technic sets. There's some really cool Technic sets, and all the pieces look exactly like Lego ones. Like all the panels, it's like the same mold type of thing. But
we've been such purists. It's hard to say you're gonna make the switch. But yeah, when you look at the photo, obviously this looks exactly like Lego to me. Looking at the photo,
it's hard to.
Well, I mean those are Lego pieces. Those are all like the life preservers there hang on the sides. The fish, those are all Legos.
The cat.
The
The cat-
dog,
I think that's what I mean. This is
Indiana
an
Jones whip.
1800
the
piece
flag.
set.
These are all like.
And look at the other pictures a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it might be way chintzy, but it just looks. Looks like
I think
a cool
I
set.
think you're right.
The
I think we
door.
should try it out because if this stuff, we all know what goes on, right? When stuff is being made in China, the cat gets out of the bag, right?
The only thing you notice is it doesn't say Lego printed on each brick. So,
Right. But there's very high potential. Absent this Lego logo, it could be the identical product, right?
Right.
You know what's
There is that potential today.
What's
So
interesting with this one too is it comes with
An LED light kit.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
This thing looks pretty cool.
It's one of those. It's just something that I've been contemplating for quite a while. I mean, even look at the
I'd be curious
slopes.
about the base plate it's on. If the base plate's any good, I would definitely order those because those are so expensive from Lego.
It looks.
I mean, I would have a hard time. It would be a moral issue.
You know, but here's what I would say. Why it doesn't break my morals if this is a non-Lego product. If you got it in the brick quality is as good as today's Lego brick quality. Like we're discussing how Lego itself is going down in quality. The bricks, right? They don't seem the same as they used to. They seem chintzier. They don't sound the same when you dump a pile of Legos together.
They don't feel as heavy.
Yeah, they're not. We all know it, okay? So it's not the same thing. Well, if this product here is the equivalent to today's Lego, I don't care whose name is on it. I think there was a time where Lego was a superior building product, and that's why we were purists, because if you went from Lego to Mega Block, they didn't work well together. Mega Block was way inferior, still is.
I think that's a thing that I would have to. It would be so hard to mix them though. That's the problem. Is
I wouldn't mix them like just tossing them into my bins of Legos, but if I had that and the bricks to me look again quality, if they look and feel quality, you'll know it by the look, right?
Yeah.
If it looks and feels quality, I'd put that thing in the city. I wouldn't bat two eyes about it. I think it's interesting.
I think you'd have to build a part of the city for a rip-off Lego though.
I don't think so. I think it could fit right in.
Some of these sets are a lot cooler too. I mean, look at this one.
Go down to the minifigures. I want to see what they look like.
The minifigures are questionable.
Minifigures are off.
Definitely not.
The hair and hat elements though are the Lego molds. So
And the head.
is the
Yeah,
head a
head.
Lego head?
Yeah,
It looks
the
like
head's
it.
a Lego head. Yeah.
So anyway, these things are. I think we're gonna have to order one just to try it out, just to see, because
The outside looks cool. Does
you
it
know
have an interior?
I there's something to be said for the brand loyalty in a collector's aspect, like from a toy collecting aspect, to just have the pure brands, right? But that's why I'm saying, like, I wouldn't necessarily mix in those bricks with my Lego bricks, but that building, I would not be ashamed to have that displayed alongside other actual Lego buildings, because I think, again, if it's quality parts, then I think that building would hold its own.
One thing that I have been getting hyped on is the for whatever reason the Minecraft Legos have been calling to me this year.
Yeah.
And-
Well, it's like a touch of nostalgia, really. Like, that's,
I don't know what it is, because I mean, I don't know how many years they've been out. They've been out for a few years now. And-
they came out literally too late for us. Like when we
just a touch.
it was just way too late. And so they have been out for a good bit, but we don't have many.
I was gonna
I have one set. It was the abandoned mine shaft. I don't even know where that is. If that's,
I know right where it is. I was telling Curtis,
Yeah.
I got a whole Minecraft area already. We got an igloo. I've got the starter house, and you've got the mine. Those are the three. I think it was probably that year. Those were like the 3 Minecraft sets they came out.
Probably.
And
yeah.
the first ones ever. And we're like, oh, holy shit, we got to get them. And we got them. And again, we were just a little bit older than we really wanted to be to enjoy them. So,
Well, I built a couple of them now because I don't know if I got every set that came out this year, but I got a basically.
yeah, you got a good swath of the line this year.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a bunch of them, and the playability is great on those sets. I got to show you what I wanted to show you the sets because it comes with all kinds of different armor, all kinds of different weapons. It's all interchangeable through the people.
Yeah.
They got the zombie with armor. You get a villager, the
Creeper.
I don't have a creeper yet, or at least not built. But it's got all that for it. The sheep have come with
You can shear them, right?
wool and a sheared look, so
Yep.
you can. That's interchangeable. I don't know the Nether portal works. There's a lot of cool stuff. I think that the playability.
The
of
thing
the
I
sets
remember
are-
from the set I had was it had a way you could make it blow up. Like there's a brick you could hit to make it look like the creeper blew things up.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the way it's built, it looks like Minecraft, right? The blocks blow apart.
Yeah.
And the other thing I remember was the pig having an interchangeable brick for a saddle because you can
Yeah.
put saddles on pigs, so that was part of it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think these Minecraft sets, they're a home run. I think that's why since they came out with them, they just keep coming out with more.
Because what other toy
they go hand in hand.
represents Minecraft? You can't even build a Minecraft toy that represents Minecraft better than the Lego Minecraft does.
Yeah, and again, in terms of making it something that you can actually play in real life, Minecraft is kind of a hard game to adapt to reality, right? There's no physics in Minecraft, right? Or physics are very manipulated, at least in Minecraft. So
Yeah.
to make a toy that you can play with in real life that's similar to the game is difficult to do as it is, but Lego obviously is the easy. That's why we love Lego and Minecraft here. They're right in the same vein. Don't come for me. I like what I like.
Now, I just wanted to.
Oh, ski cabin, huh?
It's a hunting.
Hunting
cabin.
lodge.
No, right there.
Where?
It's hunting and ski cabin. It's a combo kit.
Oh.
Comes with both of them.
I think it would be a good idea to do a YouTube, at least one video attacking Lego, assuming that these sets are quality pieces. I know.
I think we do the journalism ourselves. I think this is what we got to be boots on the ground here, boys. We got to order these.
Well,
they,
and so
they're all the same pieces as Lego. So if you compare them
look at the detail on that set. Like, it's a 2,000 piece set. It's probably not very big, but look at the logs. Look at the detail. Lego doesn't do that.
No,
Lego,
they don't. Well, because again, they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell things, and Lego right now does one of two things: either they don't put in any effort and they make it affordable, or they do put in a lot of effort and they make it $500.
Well,
That seems to be their thing right now.
What I'm saying is these sets here, they all come with lights. Like, see these lights on them? That's part of the set. So you're talking. I mean, this is on the higher side, I believe, of these fake Lego sets, $100. But like Curtis said, look at the detail on this. This isn't like a you don't even see Lego sets that are this
No,
cool.
so like the only equivalent is your little A-frame cabin you got over there. That's like the closest thing I think Lego has in terms of effort and design. And just looking across the room at that A-frame and then back at this, they went way harder on this in terms of detail.
The texturing is far superior on the.
Yeah, and here we go. Here's a Lego A-frame for you to look at.
And this is $200. I know this is on eBay, but they might not make it.
Were they a similar piece count? I wasn't paying attention to that. But the point is these off-brand things are significantly cheaper. They look sick. I think the lights are cool. I've been tempted for a long time to order. You can buy light kits for your...
The light kits I've been tempted to order.
Yeah,
regular Lego sets anyway.
Well, actually,
they're the same piece count, and if they are of the same quality, and this is $100, you know they're still making money on this. It just goes to show how much Lego would be ripping you off.
Right. Yeah. I think we got to do the journalism and order the set because we could put the screws to Lego here. We could go on strike. We could tell people only order the Amazon Legos. You know, back in the day,
Look up some of the Technic ones.
we were a pillar in the YouTube Lego community back in the day. So
A pillar.
no, but they did do a community live stream that I was on more than once back in the day. So
What?
yeah.
A community live stream.
Yeah, they did it every week. Community Lego live stream. Different channels would take turns doing it, hosting it.
Oh, the Lego.
The Lego community, AFall Man, Bricks for Chris,
What did he reference? you?
Brixar. I was on the freaking live show with them. They all knew us. We all were subscribed to each other's Lego channels.
Oh, you. I don't remember. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
they did.
We were all subscribed to each
How
other.
come I never watched the? Well, I know that sometimes you guys knew each other. How come I don't remember you guys
It was literally like
on the vid on the lives?
because we didn't have a webcam, so ours was just our channel icon and my voice when I would talk. But it was a bunch of different people webcamming in, and it was like no direction or purpose. It was just literally the Lego YouTube community would get together and they would talk about the videos they're making, their city. Like it was a true community thing. It wasn't about views and clicks.
You should. I went to the Lego store. It's Boston Brick Co. I didn't go to the flagship store, the first store, but they came up. They just opened a second store, like a satellite store, I would call it. And I went to that. It's basically a place where they resell old Lego sets. You go, you take your sets in, you trade them. You either trade them for a different set or you sell it to them, pawn it to them, whatever it is. They resell old Lego sets basically, and I think that place like that would be cool if it was around here. But you should go. I think you should go there.
Should make a video of it.
Yeah, you should make a video of it. There's a lot of stinky people in there. It smells bad.
Unfortunately, you know, guys, hey, can we have a heart to heart with our Lego friends out there? Okay, let's have a quick heart to heart. Okay, I love Lego. You love Lego. We love Lego. That bonds us.
We also love soap.
That bonds us together, right? What bonds me to the rest of society are things I do, like use soap and deodorant. Very similar to how I wipe my butt. I put clothes on. Like all these pleasantries we think of, these are in the same way the joy of Lego binds us together as a community. The fact that we shower and put on clothes binds us together as a community. So when you go out into the community and you obviously opted out of the whole showering business, it's a little you're giving. Lego is such a warm and inviting community. You want everyone to know that they are welcome there. But if you're spending so much money on Lego, you can't afford to shower. Let's rethink things here. Thank you. I'll get off my soapbox.
The only problem with going after Lego is you ruin our chance of possibly being sponsored by Lego.
They were
in the
never
future.
going to sponsor us.
You never know. If they saw this Lego room here.
This set here is
fully remote control.
Fully remote control, but look at the motors. The motors are Lego motors. They retired these motors a while ago, but those were the motors. Those are the same ones that they used in the set.
Still
patent
use those
is up.
motors.
Do they? I haven't seen
seen
them.
ones that look like
Look
that.
at this is 74 inches tall. That's how tall this set is. 4,000 piece.
Yeah, 74,
All right, let's
74 inches.
Pick one and order it.
Well, you guys.
That's over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, you guys give a price guess on.
I think that one's $200. I think it's a $200 set.
Well, I'm saying
150,
if it was
150.
no, I'm saying if it was a Lego set.
Oh,
$1,000, 800 at
well,
least.
it's not that
very-
crazy on the piece count.
Yeah, there is one similar to it. That is a $230 set, but I mean it's massive.
I would
Curtis
say-
wanted to see some Lego Technic ones, so I was trying to find.
Yeah, I've seen that backhoe one. I thought was cool. This one's cool.
Which one
There-
was back? Oh, this one.
Yeah, they're all fully remote control. They work, and it's just something about it. They're just cool, and I want to. That's I mean that's a Mindstorm pack.
Is that what that is?
I think.
I don't know.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think that it would be cool to try to get some of these, and I've been so tempted to order one for a while. I just, out of loyalty, have not ventured.
I
in.
think it's worth a shot. I say order one. Let's try it out. Our mom in the chat, is that a new fad right now, not showering? And to be honest, I think it's always come in and out of fashion. I think there's always been like the hippie crunchy granola people that don't shower. I think the actual not showering thing is a symptom of our, like, we don't know how to behave in public anymore. You know what I mean? I'm saying like the further down the line you go, right? Like, I don't have much social awareness. I didn't get out enough, and it's only getting worse with the generations below me. And I think that's where it comes from. Like, if you generally don't leave the house, and you don't think of how you look or smell, then on the rare occasion you do leave the house, you're just not. It doesn't even come to your mind. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not even that aware. Yeah. I think that's where some of it comes from. But I don't know. It could be a trend I don't know about. But a new fad, not showering.
Well, it's we've been at it for 55 minutes here. It's 7:36, and Curtis had worked all day today, so he requested we be done.
Yeah,
a little bit early.
I thought we got to a good spot here too. I was, you're starting to tax my patience, pulling up more Legos. I thought we got the point, and then we really hammered it home when we showed the Lego A-frame, and then after that I had enough. I said that's great. Let's order one. Let's find out. But then we kept going. I was like, all right,
well,
I've had enough.
Well, I just wanted to show some cool ones.
Yeah, Curtis wanted to show the tech.
And I would also just like to say, in the sense of me trying to go on a rant about people not showering, I'm just trying to find something funny to say here. Right? Like, that's kind of funny that Curtis brought up that there's some smelly people at the Lego store. Of course there's going to be, right? I would expect there to be. I've been to nerd shops before, okay? Generally, that's where the smellies go. How do I know this? I have been smelly before myself.
I don't understand where in society it became why nerds are smelly. Why
I
nerds
don't know,
shower,
but
and
I'll
why
tell you
that's
this.
the case.
I found this hobby shop, okay? This guy built his like dream hobby shop, and what they do, they have like Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, like different nights of the week. It's like a big thing. A lot of people show up to come play. But this guy built his place like a gym. Okay, so there's a full-on shower facility, and it's just the rule across the board that you come in and you take a shower first, and then you can come out and play. It doesn't matter who you are. This is the rule. If you're going to come in to play, you come in, take a shower, and then you get out there, and you're welcome to play. But because this guy has such a love for tabletop games and the people he games with, he found that this was the only way he was going to retain the people he wanted to come and play these games with him,
and not have it stink.
And not have it stink and offend other people who might want to come join. He figured, I'm going to level the playing field and just say, if you want to come here, you have to shower. You come here, you shower, and then you can get out there and play.
Shower's probably pretty nasty.
The video I saw, I think it was like an old Planet Fitness that he had like taken over. You know, like it looked exactly like a gym locker room, like, you know, big lot of space. It wasn't like just a bathroom, like a small one stall shower.
Let me go shower after my Dungeons and Dragons session.
Well, no, it's before.
I know.
It's before. And he made some good points. He's like, oftentimes a lot of people, you know, they're coming home from work, they just want to stop and play for a couple hours. You know, give them the option to come in here and get clean, and then they're welcome to play. So we'll leave it on that note. You know, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I was just trying to find something funny to say. And I don't think I quite landed on it. You know, that's why I brought it up, because I want it to be funny. I didn't feel like I quite landed on the humor. My bad.